Okay, so maybe you're thinking about reading Love Mom by Ileana Zander, but you're not really sure if it's worth your time.
And
Yeah,
time is precious,
exactly.
especially for thriller fans. We've got so many books to get through.
So many books.
So in this deep dive, we're going to help you decide,
Yes.
is this one a hit or a miss?
Should it go on your TBR?
Should go straight into the trash. We're going to look at some reviews.
Yes.
What are people saying about this book? What are the comparisons to other authors?
I see a lot of those.
Yeah.
A lot of those.
So we're going to help you make that decision without any spoilers.
No spoilers.
Just honest opinions and insights.
Yeah, I think the first thing to say is that it's a good thriller.
It is.
It's a good thriller, but...
It's enjoyable, especially if you're looking for a quick read.
But is it amazing?
That's the question.
That's the question, right? Because
Is it groundbreaking?
I see a lot of 5-star reviews online, so I'm like, what is it that makes it good, but not amazing?
Yeah. And you know what? The reviews really point to it just delivering on that classic thriller formula.
Okay.
It's not necessarily reinventing the wheel. For example, over on the story graph.
Oh.
A lot of the reviewers really focused on the book's strong characters.
Okay.
And in particular, Mackenzie, the protagonist, they felt like she was well-drawn,
I like that.
relatable, which is always a plus in a thriller
Yeah, for sure.
when you feel connected to the main character. So that's a definite check.
Yeah, that's a good point.
In the pro column.
But what about the plot itself?
Right.
Like all those twists and turns.
Concerns, yeah.
Thriller fans, that's what we want.
Yeah, that's what we're here for, right?
Oh, right.
So that's where things get kind of interesting because the Goodreads reviews
Okay.
are a little bit all over the place.
Oh, really?
You've got some readers who are absolutely raving about the twists, calling them mind-blowing and unpredictable. But then you have other readers who felt like they were a little bit too easy to guess.
Oh, interesting.
And one reviewer even said they predicted every single twist.
Wow.
But they still enjoyed the book because it was fast-paced and fun.
That's a good point, though. Because sometimes it's not just about being shocked.
Right.
It's about how the author gets you there.
Exactly.
It's like a roller coaster.
Yeah.
There's going to be drops and turns, but it's still a thrill ride.
It's the journey, not the destination.
It is, yeah.
And speaking of roller coasters,
Yes.
the pacing of Love Mom also seems to be another point of contention.
Okay.
Some readers found the beginning a little bit slow,
Okay.
kind of taking its time to set the scene, establish the family dynamics.
So not a book to pick up if you're looking for instant gratification.
Probably not.
Yeah.
If you're one of those readers who wants to be
Hooks right away.
grabbed from page one and never let go, this might not be the best fit. But if you enjoy a slow burn,
Okay.
that builds suspense gradually.
Okay, I can get down with that.
It could be right up your alley.
Okay.
So it really depends on what you're looking for.
Speaking of content,
Yes.
I noticed a content warning
Yes.
from a reviewer on the story graph. They mentioned it deals with some heavy topics.
Yes.
Like substance abuse
Mm-hmm.
and a pretty dysfunctional family.
Absolutely. It's not exactly light and fluffy.
No.
This reviewer in particular pointed out a difficult scene involving childbirth
Oh, wow.
that some readers might find upsetting.
Okay, that's good to know.
So yeah, definitely something to keep in mind.
It's not afraid to go there.
No, not at all.
But enough about the warnings.
Right.
Let's talk about what makes the story so engaging.
Yes. What is it actually about?
What's going on?
Well, from the reviews, it seems like it's structured in a way to keep you guessing.
Okay.
It's told from multiple perspectives, it uses different timelines, and it's sprinkled with diary entries
Oh.
to add another layer of mystery.
Ooh, diary entries.
Yeah.
I love those.
Always intriguing.
I'm very curious to see how those play into the overall story.
Yeah, for sure.
And speaking of intrigue,
Yes.
I've seen several reviewers comparing Love Mom to Frida McFadden's work.
Interesting.
What do you think about that comparison? Is it accurate?
Yeah, I can definitely see the similarities.
Okay.
Both authors favor fast-paced, twisty plots with a focus on psychological suspense rather than graphic violence.
Right.
They both excel at creating that can't put it down feeling.
Yeah. So if you're a fan of McFadden's books, there's a good chance you'll enjoy Love Mom.
Exactly. And what's really fascinating here
Yep.
is that even though Love Mom might not be as wildly unpredictable as some of McFadden's books,
Okay.
it still delivers on that addictive quality.
Okay.
So it's more about the journey than the destination, if that makes sense.
I like that. I like that.
Yeah.
So it's not just about shocking twists. It's about the way the author keeps you engaged throughout the story.
Precisely. And One thing that contributes to that engagement
Mm-hmm.
is the strength of the characters.
Okay.
You know, Mackenzie, the protagonist,
Yeah.
seems to be a real standout. Reviewers consistently praise her as being relatable, smart, and even a little bit flawed, which
Okay.
makes her feel more human.
More human, yeah. I like that.
Yeah.
So far, we've got fast-paced plot,
Yes.
multiple perspectives,
Mm-hmm.
diary entries,
Uh-huh.
and a strong, relatable main character.
Absolutely.
What else can you tell us about the key players in this story?
Well, besides Mackenzie,
Okay.
we know there's this mysterious #1 fan who's sending her those diary entries,
Right.
which adds a whole other layer of suspense.
Yeah.
And of course, there's Mackenzie's mother,
Okay.
a famous thriller author who, let's just say, has a few secrets of her own.
Oh, okay. So we've got a potentially unreliable narrator,
Potentially.
a mysterious fan,
Mm-hmm.
and a mother with secrets.
It's starting to sound like a classic thriller recipe.
It really is.
It definitely is.
But what's interesting is that even though it embraces those familiar tropes,
Right.
the reviews suggest that it manages to do so in a way that feels fresh and engaging.
Yeah.
It's not just a rehash of old ideas, but rather a new spin on them.
Exact.
I'm starting to get a clearer picture of this book now.
Yeah.
It's like comfort food, but thriller.
I think that's a great way to put it. It's
Yeah.
not necessarily groundbreaking
But it's well crafted.
or challenging, but it's well-crafted and entertaining.
Okay, so we've covered the basic premise,
Yeah.
the pacing,
Mm.
the characters,
Mm-hmm.
and even the writing style.
Absolutely.
Now let's get down to the nitty-gritty.
Okay.
In part 2, we'll compare Love Mom to some other popular thrillers and really dig into whether it's worth adding to your TBR pile.
Awesome. Sounds good.
Stay tuned.
Okay, so we've established that Love Mom offers that, like, familiar, comforting thriller experience.
Yeah.
But how does it actually stack up against other popular books?
Yeah. We touched on the comparisons to Frida McFadden earlier.
Right.
Is that really a fair comparison?
I think it depends on what aspect we're focusing on.
Okay.
So if we're talking about pure shock value of the twists,
Right.
McFadden definitely has a knack for the unexpected.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Like, she knows how to really deliver
Yeah, she does.
those, like, what just happened moments.
Absolutely.
But, you know, remember, some reviewers found Love Mom kind of predictable. So in that sense,
Yeah, okay.
it might not deliver that same level
Yeah.
of, like, jaw-dropping surprise.
So for those of us who prioritize originality and like those mind-bending twists,
Yeah,
McFadden's still the queen.
possibly.
Yeah.
Possibly. But, you know, Love Mom seems to excel in other areas.
Okay.
Like, for instance, McFadden's strength often lies in her intricate plotting,
Okay.
whereas Love Mom, based on the reviews,
Yeah.
seems to shine through its well-developed characters.
Interesting.
Like, reviewers consistently highlight their connection with Mackenzie.
Yeah.
And how her voice adds a unique layer to the story.
So it might not be as twisty-turny,
Right.
but it offers a deeper dive into the characters' inner lives.
Yeah, exactly.
No, that's interesting.
A different kind of focus.
That is interesting. It makes me think of another popular thriller author, Riley Sager.
Oh, yeah.
You know, his books are also praised for their character development,
Yeah.
but they tend to have a more atmospheric, almost gothic feel.
Yeah, for sure.
How does Love Mom compare in terms of atmosphere?
That's a great comparison.
Yeah.
I think while Love Mom deals with dark themes and family secrets,
Right.
the reviews don't necessarily suggest a particularly gothic or eerie atmosphere.
Okay.
It seems more grounded in contemporary reality,
Right.
focusing on, like, the psychological complexities of the characters and their relationships.
So maybe less haunted house vibes
Yeah, exactly.
and more family drama
Exactly.
with a thriller twist.
Yes, exactly.
Okay. I like it.
And that kind of brings us back to that point about predictable twists. If we compare Love Mom to, say, like, a B.A. Paris thriller,
Okay.
where the twists are often the main draw,
Yes.
it might fall short.
Okay.
B.A. Paris is known for those, like, shocking reveals
Right.
that completely upend the reader's expectations.
Right.
Love Mom, on the other hand, seems more focused on the journey,
Right.
the character development, the exploration of those complex family dynamics.
Yeah, it sounds like it offers a different kind of satisfaction
Yes.
compared to those high twist authors.
Sure.
Like, it's more about being immersed in the character's world and experiencing the story alongside them,
Mm-hmm.
rather than just being constantly surprised.
Yeah, I agree.
And remember, even though some readers found the plot predictable, they still enjoyed that fast-paced, engaging nature of the storytelling.
Absolutely.
You keep mentioning that fast-paced element.
Yeah.
I'm picturing a book that I can easily devour in a few sittings.
Yes.
Perfect for a weekend getaway or a long flight.
Absolutely. It seems to fit that like popcorn thriller category perfectly.
Yeah.
You know, those books you just can't put down.
Yes.
Even if they aren't necessarily going to win
Right, yeah.
like any literary awards or anything.
And sometimes that's exactly what we need, right? Just
Mhm.
pure entertainment, a way to escape from reality for a bit.
Absolutely. And it seems like Love Mom delivers on that front.
Yeah.
Like it has those addictive qualities
Okay.
that keep you turning the pages, even if you have a hunch about where the story is heading.
So it's not the most groundbreaking thriller out there,
Right.
but it's a solid, entertaining read
Yes.
with relatable characters and a fast-paced plot.
Uh.
Are we ready to give our final verdict?
I think so.
Should people add this to their ever-growing TBR pile?
Let's sum it all up in part 3 and really help our listeners make that decision.
Okay, so we've explored like all the highs and lows of Love Mom.
Yeah, we really have.
We talked about those characters,
Uh-huh.
the pacing,
Mm-hmm.
even how it compares to like some of those big thriller names.
Yeah, like those thriller heavyweights.
Yeah.
Like Frida McFadden and Riley Sager.
Now for the big question.
Yeah, the ultimate question.
Is this book worth your time?
If you're the kind of reader who enjoys a fast-paced, engaging thriller
Yeah.
that you can devour in like a few sittings,
Okay.
then absolutely. Love Mom deserves a spot on your TBR list,
Okay.
especially if you're a fan of that like classic popcorn thriller vibe, you know,
Yeah.
twisty plots, intriguing characters,
Mhm.
just enough suspense to keep you hooked.
But, and this is a big but, for
Yeah.
some thriller fans,
Yeah.
if you're seeking a truly mind-blowing, unpredictable read
Yeah.
that breaks the mold,
Right, right.
this might not be the one.
It might not be the one for you.
Yeah.
What's so fascinating about Love Mom
Yeah.
is it embraces those familiar thriller tropes.
Right.
Dysfunctional families, hidden secrets, diary entries.
Oh, right.
And yet, from
Yeah.
the reviews,
Uh-huh.
it still manages to feel fresh and engaging. It's like
Yeah.
comfort food, but
Yeah.
thriller.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
I know exactly what you mean.
Yeah.
So it's a balance.
Right. It's about
Like it delivers on those comforting elements we love in the genre,
Mm-hmm.
but maybe doesn't push the boundaries too far.
Exactly. And that might be a pro or a con,
Yeah.
depending on your reading preferences.
Right.
Some readers crave those like shocking twists
Mhm.
that leave them reeling,
Right.
while others, and it seems like Love Mom appeals to this group.
Okay.
They enjoy the journey, the characters, and the skillful execution of a familiar formula.
Yeah, it makes me think of those times
Yeah.
when you just want a book that's pure entertainment,
Uh-huh.
like an escape from reality.
Yeah.
You don't necessarily want to be challenged or intellectually stimulated.
Right.
You just want to get lost in a good story.
Yeah, absolutely.
And Love Mom seems to fit that bill perfectly.
I think it does.
Yeah.
And based on the reviews,
Yeah.
even if you guess some of the twists along the way,
Okay.
the fast-paced writing, relatable characters, and those diary entries woven throughout the narrative
Right.
keep you engaged from beginning to end.
So to wrap up our deep dive,
Yeah.
if you're looking for a quick, enjoyable thriller
Mm-hmm.
with a strong focus on character development
Okay.
and a touch of those familiar tropes we all secretly love,
Yes,
Love Mom is definitely worth checking out.
I agree.
But if you're a diehard fan
Yeah.
of those super twisty, unpredictable thrillers
Mm-hmm.
that constantly keep you guessing,
Yeah.
you might want to adjust your expectations.
And that brings us to our final thought for you to ponder.
Ooh, I like it.
Does a thriller need to be completely unpredictable to be enjoyable?
Oh, that's a good one.
Can the journey, the characters, and the overall reading experience be just as satisfying,
Yeah.
even if we see some of the twists coming?
That's a great question to consider.
Yeah, something to think about.
Ultimately, the decision is yours.
It is. It is.
We hope this deep dive is giving you all the information you need to decide if Love Mom deserves a place on your TBR list.
Happy reading, everyone.
Happy read.